Hello and welcome to Edinburgh Watch Company. My name is Jonathan, and on today's video we're going to be talking about the Rolex Deep Blue. Now you can find out more about this watch by visiting our website at edinburghwatchcompany.co.uk. There you'll find some photographs we've taken, technical specification and pricing, but if there's anything else you'd like to know, then please just give me a call directly. Now the Rolex Deep Sea, it needs no introduction. One of the most famous models within the range, an absolutely iconic watch for anybody that loves a diver's watch. This particular one we have is a 2020 watch. In fact, it's unworn and it is the latest generation of Deep Sea. They made some changes to this watch around about 2018. The Deep Sea was introduced in around about 2007 and was a new model within the Sea Dweller range. The Sea Dweller now is, just over 50 years old, and it has been that watch for divers that want to go beyond what a submariner would do. So the traditional Sea Dweller takes you down to 4,000 foot. However, the Deep Sea, 12,800 foot. And to do that, there's some really clever technology that they've built into the watch. Key change in 2018 was that they brought a new movement into the watch, and this movement increased the power reserve up to around about 70 hours, so quite practical from that point of view. There was some feedback, however, to Rolex. Some would say that it's quite a top-heavy watch and the bracelet was quite slim compared to the case itself. And so again, Rolex listened to their customers and they made a change to the bracelet, slightly broader now at the top, and then it tapers down. And from what I hear, having spoken to some customers who've had both, they say that this new one is a little bit more comfortable. What's special about this particular watch, however, is the dial. So in the Deep Sea, you have a choice of two dials. You can have it with black or what they call the Deep Blue. And as we'll see shortly, as we have a closer look at the watch, it graduates from blue down to black. So if you're looking into the ocean, the deeper and deeper and deeper you go at the very seabed, it's going to be black. The movement in itself is automatic, and it's a chronometer movement, which means that it has been subjected to various tests to get to this COSC level. In fact, they probably exceeded it, because I think that's -4 to +6 seconds per day. Now that's what would happen on an earlier Deep Sea. This, however, being 2020, is now down to ±2 seconds per day. So that's a really accurate automatic watch. So there we are, quick review of the watch. Let's go and have a slightly closer look at it now, and you can see some of these beautiful features of the watch. So here we go. The case size on this one is 44mm. Now I'm, of course, one of the benefits of running your own business with watches is you do get to enjoy some of these watches when they come in. So if they're pre-owned, sometimes I'll try them on, wear them for a few days, but I can actually speak through my own experience, because I bought my own Deep Sea many years ago before I started Edinburgh Watch Company, and with an 8-inch wrist it actually suits me very well. So mine was the black one when it came out, and I've never actually had a blue one on my own, but just looking at the colours of this dial now, it really is something quite special. Now we're shooting this video in September 2020. At time of shooting, we've also got a black one as well that's unworn, in fact, and still in its protective stickers, and it's a very late 2019 one. So if the blue one's not for you, that's definitely worth a look at. So working from the top down, you can see here that it has a ceramic bezel insert. Now this is something that Rolex introduced around about 2007 in the GMT Master. And I think the reason for it is because, you know, with a traditional stainless steel bezel, it can pick up scratches, and likes of the Submariner, you know, with the aluminium bezel insert, you can get little dents and scratches on them, and it's very unlikely to happen on a ceramic one. You can break it if you were to drop it on a very hard surface, but I've never come across that in the last 6 years. So this bezel on the top here, it turns unidirectionally, and even as I turn it here and listen, it just feels so beautifully engineered. Now it only goes one way, because this is a tool watch. It's designed for divers who are going to use this to monitor the amount of air in their tanks, and you don't want it to go the wrong way. The crystal on this one is sapphire crystal. It's really thick. I remember seeing a sapphire crystal, and it's considerably thicker than a normal watch, but of course it's designed to take that extra pressure you'll get as you go, you know, thousands of foot under the ocean. The dial itself, as I say, this beautiful gradient of blue going into black. The hour markers here are very, very luminous for nighttime reading and have a lovely sort of blue tone to them. The deep sea, which is normally written in white on the deep blue, is in fact written in green, and again it's a nice contrast against the blue dial. You still have a date window here, but on the deep sea it's one of the few watches in the collection now, in fact I think maybe the only one now, that doesn't actually have the cyclops on the glass, the cyclops being that magnification of the date, which they've actually now introduced onto the Sea Dweller, the 50th anniversary for the first time. The case is actually stainless steel. It's made out of what Rolex call 904 L grade stainless steel, polished here on the outside, and then it's satinized elsewhere. You'll see here a small circle in the center there. This in fact is that it's the helium escape valve, and it's all automated because if you are going to take this watch down to significant depths, then you will get helium building up onto the inside of the watch, and this automatically releases it so it doesn't cause any damage to the watch. Coming onto this side, again, polished stainless steel. You can see that classic Rolex crown there on the crown. And this screws into the side of the case there. And so that ensures that the watch is going to be waterproof. Here you can see you've got the crown guards as well, just to protect it from any knocks. So again, quite a clever design there. Bracelet wise, well, it's the Oyster bracelet, which is what we see on the majority of the sports watches, albeit they have introduced the Jubilee now on the GMT. But this one here, all in this satinized stainless steel look to it here, completely across the bracelet. Turning on its side there, you can see it's actually polished, and it's very, very easy to adjust this bracelet too. Now the glide lock clasp is something that Rolex introduced when the Submariner came out and the Deep Sea. This is, I guess, the daddy of the glide lock clasp by means of its functionality, and the Submariner and the Sea Dweller is a slightly scaled down version of that. So first of all, you have here the Rolex crown here on the safety clasp. This safety clasp we open here, and it's really designed to ensure there's no way this watch comes off your wrist unless you want it to. Once that's opened up, this pulls back here, and you can see you have the solid stainless steel deployant clasp there with the Rolex logo on it. Now what we can do here is we can very, very easily adjust. You can actually adjust this bracelet on the wrist if you want to without taking it off. And all we do is we just lift. I'll just take my gloves off, there we go. We lift this, and this actually slides in and out just to get it how you want it to be. And you can see there at this angle there, you can see those teeth. And when you get it to the right position, you just push that down and it locks into place. So it's a really, really clever way of doing things. But I think it's an absolutely gorgeous looking watch. When the sun actually hits the dial on this, I think it really, really pops. So there we are, that's just a quick overview of that. Let's go and have a look at it on the wrist now. Now I've got a really big wrist, so 8-inch wrists. Deep Sea is absolutely perfect for me. And there we go, and that's it on the wrist there. So you can just see it's the way it's shaping, it's really, really lovely for that. And the clasp, again, it's quite a long clasp, so the benefit of that is it sort of spreads evenly across the wrist there, and it's really very, very comfortable to wear. This gives you a perspective here of what it's actually like on the wrist. Now this is a chunky watch, there's no hiding for that. It's considerably thicker than a Submariner, but I think, again, we're very, very careful to explain that to our customers. They know what they're going to be buying, but it is definitely a thick watch, but it's got to be, it's a tool watch to go down to those depths. So as long as you know what you're buying, I think you'll really enjoy it. So there we are, quick recap. 2020 Rolex Sea Dweller Deep Sea. This is the deep blue one, affectionately known as the James Cameron watch for the earlier versions that came on. This is the Mark II version with the new movement, the new bracelet, and a really, really good all-rounder. So there we are. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch our video today. Now we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, but if you'd like to see all of our latest videos coming out, then all you have to do is just click there. That'll notify you of our new videos, and we'd love to see you coming back again. Take care. Bye-bye.